Hello, and it's a Saturday afternoon and we're going to make some juice. So today I've got a pretty interesting mix that adds a couple things that you typically might not think of, but really turns out pretty good. And this is a continuation of my series that I'm putting together on juicing with the Champion Juicer. If you've looked at some of my other videos, I've got an introduction to this machine that kind of goes through all the details of what it is and how it works. This is a real workhorse. It's been in my family. This machine has been in my family for over 40 years. Never been serviced. Works like a champ. Hence, champion, right? So what I'm going to do today is going to do a juice that is not mainstream, although you can find it out there. It's pretty cool. So what are the ingredients? Cabbage. What? You're juicing cabbage? This thing is about the size of a softball. It's a little larger than a softball, but yeah, juicing cabbage, really good for you. However, the juice gets a little, I'm not sure, the taste, you can imagine cabbage, right? So you got to add some things to it so it's not quite as strong. And that's where these carrots come in. I've got 4 carrots here we're going to put in. Also add a little celery. So you got the basics. You got the cabbage, the carrots, and the celery, which is a classic juicing combination. We're going to throw in a cucumber, which still is kind of in the classic mode. So those are the core ingredients. But I'm going to add a couple other things today that are going to be fun. And that is, I got some really good romaine lettuce. So I'm going to add some romaine lettuce in there. This romaine lettuce is a great thing to juice. It's packed full of nutrition. It's really up there on the scale in terms of a leafy green and the nutritional value of the leafy green. Look it up. It's right up there with kale and Swiss chard. So I try to bring it into the juice as an addition to most of the juices I make. It's got a really sweet, mild, kind of mild flavor to it. It's packed full of juice, so it adds a lot. And then the new guy today, which maybe some of you people aren't familiar with, is something called jicama. Okay, this is a root vegetable. It's about the size of that piece of cabbage. You can get these at the store. They're about 99 cents a pound. This thing probably is a couple pounds, so there's a couple bucks. And I'm going to use half of it today. Let me cut into it and show you. If you're not familiar with it, it is very hard. Looks like this. Kind of looks like a potato, but it's a lot more dense than a potato. Packed full of all kinds of good stuff. So if you're looking for a little extra juice and flavor, use one of these jicamas. You got to trim the skin off it though. So I will go through the process of doing that. It's a little bruised on this one end, but we'll cut that off. You know, jicama is something that I learned about in the mid-'80s. And actually, it's pretty common here in the Southwest. You can cut this up into kind of French fry looking things and just eat it raw. If you're talking about something that's got some good nutrition in it, it's filling, it's an alternative to maybe having some celery with your lunch or a carrot with your lunch. Try jicama. It's got a good flavor. You can just eat it straight up, and I think you're going to like it. So what I'm going to do is cut this up into a size that the juicer will be happy with getting. And then, uh-oh, that piece went on the floor. Now, if I wasn't on camera, I'd just put that in the juicer. But since all you guys are, you know, my friends today, I'll wash that off. Little piece, right? Kind of slippery. So I'm going to wash that off. Make sure anything that was on the floor is now no longer on it. That's the jicama. So this is what it looks like cut up. It's just solid. It's pretty cool. Jicama is going to add a lot to this drink. I've got the cucumber. I'll go ahead and prepare this for the juicer. The feed chute for the Champion is about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. It takes a good, you have to cut a little bit, but you don't have to get too crazy. This, on the other hand, I am going to just cut right in the middle. We're not going to pour it. We're going to go ahead and juice that core. And I'm going to cut this in pieces that can be easily accepted by that feed chute. And let's get juicing, okay? It's a nice Saturday here in San Diego. It's June, and we've got our typical June gloom in around the coast. The tourists have arrived, so they're overtaking our town, and they'll be here until Labor Day, in which case they all leave and we get things back to normal, which is a good thing. So, let's fire up the machine, plug it in, and let's make some juice. We've got all our ingredients. We're ready to go. We got the cabbage, we got the cucumber, we got the carrots, we've got the celery, we've got the romaine lettuce, and we've got the jicama as an extra kind of little something different. So here we go. Let's fire it up. At just this idle, this machine really doesn't make a lot of noise. I'm curious to see how much foam we get today. Look at all that juice already going right into the kettle. It does a real nice job on these cucumbers. Look at that, man. Load it up. These cucumbers are filled with all kinds of goodness. Let's try some of this cabbage. It's going to do a real nice job on the cabbage too. The Champion is a machine. It's a masticating single auger machine. Got an auger inside this housing which has a bunch of blades on it. And as I push this produce into the machine, the blades are rotating very, very quickly. And they just shave it down, and push the pulp out here, as you can see it coming out. Let's throw in a carrot. Change up the color a little bit. How hard is this? People are saying, oh, I don't want to juice. It's too difficult. My gosh. You know, what could I be doing instead right now? Well, you know, I could be making a big, fat cheese and meat lasagna. You know, it's got a lot of pasta in it. It's got a lot of salt in it. It's got a lot of meat. Hamburger meat, maybe some cheese. Oh my God, does that cheese plug up your blood? Have you ever taken your blood pressure after eating a lot of cheese? Don't do that. You'll get nervous. it just plugs up your blood volume. Now, instead of doing all that, we're making juice, which is going to glide right into your bloodstream. It's going to go right into your cells. And honestly, it's going to deliver all this nutrition right into your system very quickly without having to be processed by your digestive tract. I mean, essentially, you're giving this food to your body in a format that is ready to be digested. It's going right into your small intestine. It's going right into your bloodstream. It's going right into your cells. You're doing celery. You got leaves on the end? Do the leaves. They are very good for you. Oh, so we're about at the point. Jicama, my first jicama. Look at that, man. Wham! And let's do one of these romaines. Now, when I do the romaine, fold it in half, twist it up like this. Okay? Regardless of whatever juicer you're using, put it in this way. Got some greens in this mix now. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to empty the pulp. Pulp's looking pretty good. It's pretty dry. Okay? I'm pretty happy with that. Not a lot of fluid in there. And I'm going to take the juice, throw it into the strainer, and let's go for round 2. I've got a little bit of foam in there, but not a lot. Not a lot, people. Okay? So let's keep it going. Another jicama. This jicama, wow. It really juices nicely. Just like one of these carrots. Hard vegetable, full of juice. And here it comes. Add another cabbage. So what do we got here? We've got a half a jicama, was about the size of a softball. We've got a small green cabbage that's the size of a softball plus a little bit more. Okay, just a little bigger than a softball. We've got a few carrots. Got a little bit of celery. And for giggles, since I've got this nice romaine, I'm throwing this romaine in. I love this romaine. Juicing romaine is a good thing. If you're not into it, start doing it. You'll like it. It's almost like it was made for juicing. When I make other juices, green juice or some of the other juices I make, I add that romaine. And let me give you a tip. If you're making juice with spinach, add that romaine in, and it is really good. The mix between the spinach and the romaine tastes delicious. It's a really nice flavor. So keep it rocking. Well, we are doing pretty good here. Getting close. Look at this champion. It performs really nicely, doesn't it? It really does. This is a great juicer. We're getting pretty close to getting through our... Got to empty the pulp again, still. It is pretty dry. I'm going to clean that strainer and put a little more juice into our bin over here. A little bit of foam, not a lot of foam. This thing is still rocking. So let's put the rest in here and see what we get. So I've got a little more cabbage. I've got 2 more pieces of this romaine. There goes 1. And I'll do the other one. And I'm going to follow that with a jicama. Now, if you notice, I've been putting in of what I've had on deck here, I've been rotating what goes into the juicer. Right? I'm not putting all the romaine in at one time. I'm not doing all the cabbage at one time. I'm mixing it up. And that's what you should be doing if you're juicing. It helps the juicer perform. Mixing up a variety of different juices. I mean vegetables or fruits or whatever you're putting in here. Helps push things through. Jicama, I love this. Look at this, man. You know, I've done just juicing jicama. Tastes pretty good. Actually, it tastes very good. So I'm curious. We are almost done. Okay, so what am I going to do? Jicama or carrot? Let's do the carrot. Look at how this thing just takes this carrot down. Piece of cake. Look at all the juice coming through there. Just loading it up. Okay, last piece. Here comes the last piece. Here's the jicama, went in nicely. I'm going to let that go for a little bit. And we finished making this juice, and I did get quite a bit. I got a pretty good volume here. So, I'm going to turn this machine off, unplug it. If you got kids around the house, you don't want them around this machine. Trust me. This thing rotates a very sharp blade inside that housing, and it rotates it at a very high speed. And you know, if I had small children around here, I'd keep them away from this thing. It's no place, it's no tool for a child to get involved with. They may like the juice you're making for them with it, but you know, keep them out of the kitchen when you're using this thing. You don't want them anywhere near it. So, okay, let's last bit of juice. Let's put it through the strainer. This has got a, you know, it doesn't have the most pleasing color when it comes to juice. It's kind of the mix between the green and the orange, which is what you would expect. It's brown juice. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'll tell you, it's pretty good juice. So